What is up, Tomboy Official? So, it is Tuesday, March 19th. Had a good San Diego trip. Enjoyed my time with friends, allies, LGBT community. Had a good time. The hotel was cold because they didn't have, the heater didn't work. It was basically, well, it turned on, but it wasn't heat. It was just like a fan. So I was heating up the room by turning on the hot shower and steaming up the whole little hotel room. Then all my stuff had condensation on it, but whatever. It kind of worked. So while I was like drying off, I just kind of kept the shower running for a while. And then the hot shower kind of helped too, just to get me warmed. And this place, didn't have a coffee maker or anything, so I couldn't like make hot water. It had microwaves, but there's like a little common area that has like microwaves, laundry machines, vending machines, but they didn't have a coffee machine in there. So and the lobby didn't have a coffee machine either, or hot water or anything. So the sinks had hot water, and the hot water in the shower was like really good. So at least there was that. Gotta improvise sometimes. Hit some rain coming back. But yeah, while I was there, had fun. It was such a short trip. It was like I blinked and it was over. But it was a really good addition to my weekend. So technically Saturday was my me day, and then Sunday travel and hang, Monday travel and hang, and then today is I've got to put in some work, but I'm not going to be doing much past like 2 or 3 today. I started early, like a little bit. I was up before 5, but I started getting up around 5, and just decided, since my trainings the next 2 days are going to be 7 to 3, I might as well practice eating breakfast early. So I ate breakfast before 7, just to get a feel for it, so that I'm not like nervous, or so I can kind of estimate how long it takes. Had 2 eggs over medium, some leftover, I don't know what it was, like rice with sausage and beans, and half an avocado. Had some yerba mate, working on some tea. Gonna have to be extra caffeinated today because I'm pretty tired, in all honesty. I don't think I slept enough, but I figured I'd rather wake up, get my day started and over with, and then move on with things, versus sleeping in. There's a lot of podcasting and stuff I want to get done this morning, and some online store setup stuff I need to work on. I got some footage to record, and I think I've got a product that I'm trying to resell. I think I found a good source, and I think I've come across a product that I use that I actually need to go buy today, that I found cheaper at Walmart, that is more expensive actually on Amazon. But I think it's because the shipping has gone up, because at Walmart it's like $7, and at on Amazon it's like a little over 14. And so I don't know. I think I can make like maybe a couple bucks profit off of it, or mark it up like a little bit, not sell it on Amazon, probably like eBay or OfferUp or something like that, and then yeah, go from there. Like um, and yeah, I got a little bit misgendered yesterday. It wasn't a big deal. I was waiting out in the patio to meet someone, um, and the place opened at like 11. I get there, it's like a couple minutes after 11. I ask if I can sit on the patio, and they're like, cool. And then you know, I think I go to, um, there's shade and sun, and so I sit down, order coffee, and then, you know, it, you know, it was chill. My back was facing like where the waiters would come in and out from the actual like building out to the patio, and um, they kind of from the back, the guy was like, I don't know the word he used. He was like, "Hey, boss," or like, "Hey," like, um, like some kind of like masculine word. He wasn't like a bro or something like that. Like, "Hey, bro," or like something like that, like bro or boss or something. And then, I kind of turn around and like respond because I'm wearing like usual, like a hat, t-shirt, and then he kind of like, so he's like, hey, bro. Like, he was trying to get my attention like a couple times to see if I was like okay, because I just sat down, and he was just kind of like trying to ask if I wanted anything. And he was just like, hey, like, and he was just like, oh, so you just want a coffee? And I was like, no, like, I'm waiting for someone. And then I asked if I could move to another table where it was like, where there was more shade, because the sun was kind of creeping in under the umbrella. And I was like, well, the other side has like complete shade, and it was sunny at that time. So I was like, you know, can I move over there just to make sure that if it does get filled up more, we at least have established a table. But it was a table where like maybe 6 people could have sat. But the place didn't get busy the whole time we were there, so we were there till like 2 or 1:30, from like 11 something to like 1:30. So, but that's all that really happened. Like, I think he handled it well, and I understand, why somebody would jump to a conclusion that I'm not a female, looking from behind, and they're trying to get my attention. And I heard him, but I just wasn't responding because I was like, well, I'm not bro, so I don't know who, I kind of knew he was talking to me because I was the only one out there, but also like I was kind of just not responding because I was just like, okay, like, like, I'm not a guy, so I just didn't really say anything. And then once he kind of saw me, he was like, oh, like, yeah, like, but he didn't really make it like awkward. I think it was more awkward for him, and he was kind of, I guess, feeling like awkward about it, but I was just kind of like polite, just like, yeah, can I please have a coffee? And then I asked him if they had iced coffee just in case, because it was kind of warm out. And then he was like, there's a cafe like across like somewhere else that has it. And I was kind of like, no, like, it's fine, I'll have the hot coffee. And like, $5, by the way, it's $5, but it was strong, dude. I had like a few sips, and that's all I needed. It was really good. Just black coffee, and then he refilled it even though it didn't need refilling, like later on. Good waiter. But it was just kind of like one of those experiences where it's like, okay, like, he kind of assumed a different gender and maybe felt awkward about it, but I was just like, I don't really care. Like, I know how I'm dressed. I know what people assume if they're not like thinking about it much. Like, a lot of people don't think about it much, so I'm not really gonna like get all bent out of shape. He wasn't like acting weird. And he was polite, respectful the whole time. Like, I don't know, he came back and like asked us how the food was, and like, got me a box because I only ate half of my food because I had breakfast and then only ate like half my food, and then um, yeah, like it wasn't a big deal. Like it was cool. It was a chill experience. I think he kind of handled it right, and it's kind of interesting. They had like a pride flag in one of the windows. I think there were like little shops on their patio. I don't know if they were open or if it was like the backs to the shops or something, so you could like see the windows. Um, it looked like it looked like an old apartment complex courtyard, or like a hotel or motel little courtyard, but there were like shops around the top. There was like a top level balcony. It looked like there were shops and offices, and same on the bottom level. And then there was just it was a small courtyard, maybe like 8 tables or so. I don't know. I didn't count, but it was cool. And it wasn't a problem. It was just one of those things that's like one of those experiences. It's kind of funny though, because my voice isn't deep. I can kind of pass for like a young guy maybe, but like I don't really look like a guy. Like my face isn't very masculine. You know, I've got a bit of a curvy shape to me, but I don't have like I'm not very busty. But I think if people aren't paying attention, maybe if I'm wearing black or something a little looser or like a sweater, people don't really notice too much. Because the attire is usually like more masculine clothing, even if it is from the female section. Usually it kind of fits more like a masculine type of clothing. And my hair is not that long, and I wear hats. But it's not really that feminine or that masculine in my opinion. But I can see why people jump to that conclusion. It kind of happens a lot when people aren't talking to me. It definitely happens more, and it definitely happens way more with the hat. I think when I wasn't wearing like baseball caps so often, it didn't happen so often. Um, but again, I don't feel like it's a big deal. Like if somebody handles it just the way he did, where he was just kind of like, oh, like, and just kind of like just moves on, takes the order, and I just kind of move on, like, you know, it wasn't a big deal, you know. I got the restroom combo, and like we were good. Like he was polite, respectful the whole time, and I can't remember if when he came over, he asked like, you ladies. I don't know if he said, are you ladies, um, are you ladies ready to order or something like that, or are you ladies enjoying your food? I can't remember honestly if he said that or not. Later on when we were already like eating or gonna eat or something, I don't remember. He might have said that, but he did approach us and ask if like how the food was, and like made sure the orders were okay and everything. Good waiter, I'd say. Like, yeah, it was just one of those experiences where I was like, okay, like that didn't go bad, you know. It's like that's kind of like what you would expect, like best case scenario. I don't know if the pride flags were like visible on their property because they wanted it there. Because I would assume if there's little shops, maybe the shop was, maybe it had something to do with the shop and their own solidarity, and not so much the restaurant that used the courtyard as their patio. But I don't know. Maybe they were the ones who were like, we want this flag. You guys can put the flag there, because I mean they do share the space. I mean it's like a shared space, I guess. Um, yeah, I mean, it was an old town in San Diego, so it's not like it's like not a diverse area. But I don't know. That's just how it goes. I think while traveling, sometimes I do worry, like especially if I have my mask on, and then I'm like, I do kind of still wear a mask. I don't like being in buses. People are coughing all over the place. Like I don't know if it really helps, but it's like for a couple hours in a bus, I'm kind of like whatever. I'd rather wear a mask, um, or at least bring one because you never know. Like I've been on a plane where somebody was like sick and like sniffling and coughing, and it was like either they had allergies or they had a really bad cold, and I think they took some medicine and then it kind of went away. But I was like, you know, really glad that day that I had a mask with me. Like, I don't think it really helps that much, but maybe like a little bit. Um, it's just become like a comfort thing. Just because I know in like some Asian countries people wear them too, and it's just kind of one of those things where it's like, I mean, I'm not gonna wear it everywhere, but if I'm like trapped in an area with a bunch of people that, there's kids coughing, and you can hear when like kids have a cough and stuff, like that stuff, it's still gonna get on you. Like the particles are still gonna like touch your clothes or whatever. Like you still have to like wash your hands and stuff, but um, just breathing things. If you're breathing things in, I would hope that would be a barrier, but also it's like, I mean, these things are like microscopic. They can get through a mask, they can get through your clothes. Like, it's not that big of a barrier for them. Maybe a bit of a barrier, but not that much. They can still get through it. So it's kind of like, what are you going to do? But that's about all I've got to say. I'm going to keep this one short because I've got other recordings to get to, and I've got some other damage to do online, and gonna do deliveries today when I go out and get over to Walmart and get what I need to get, and probably make some footage of what I buy at Walmart for ads that I'm gonna make for trying to do this reselling, and then I'll try and launch it. I don't know when. If I don't launch it today, I don't know if I'm going to have time or energy. I mean, at least the trainings for me are going to end at like 3, but they start at 7. And so that's kind of late, but it's late, but it might be doable. We'll see. I get my Prop 22 payout tomorrow, and from Uber Eats. I'm hoping it'll be a decent one. I did a little calculation. I don't know if this is right. So basically, I put that when I logged about 5.5 hours, I got about $54. When I logged about 3 hours, the Prop 22 payout was about $39. And when I think I got about 60 something, and that's about 6 hours. And this one has like 9 hours so far, and by today I think it'll be, more. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Actually, no. I think it's only going to go to the 9 hours, because the Prop 22 payout's supposed to be for Monday, but they don't give it to me till Wednesday. So I think they're only counting up to what I did yesterday, which was nothing. So pretty much everything I did before the weekend, because I didn't drive Saturday or Sunday or Monday. So I think I counted 9 hours or so up till Monday. So I think the payout's going to be like $90 or something around there. I think it seems to be like 3 hours 30 something, 5 hours 50 something, 6 hours 60 something. But I remember way back I used to get payouts that were like over 100 for for the Prop 22. So I don't really know. But it would be nice. I mean, it's not enough money. It's not a lot of money, but it's like it'll at least replenish about half of what I spent over the weekend. So, because this trip was a little under $200 for me. So, yeah. All right. That's it for now. Hope everybody has a good Tuesday. Feels like a Monday for me, but I know it's actually Tuesday. Alrighty, guys.